talking to you from the good old Mount Pleasant, Michigan. I think we're going to do ourselves some more fishing here on episode 3. Trout farming in Oregon at Falcon Lake. Just like forever, you want to go and you want to get your license first. And I highly recommend you get the advanced license, for the same being as the advanced license lets you keep everything and take it home. So we're going to go ahead and buy that there. We're going to go back to our map. And we're going to take a one-day trip here to Oregon, and I'm going to show you guys how to use one lure, which people say you can take to Falcon Lake with you and catch just about anything around the lake. Mainly the rainbow trout. Is the farming with this lure is just ridiculous, apparently. Maybe we'll find some friends at the same lake when we get there. And we're heading off, folks, to the spot to where I'm going to show you. You're going to start right about here in front of this kayak. Oh, hey, there is someone here. Mr. Swiggs. What's up, Mr. Swiggs?
Hey, Calzone, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How's the trout today? Looks like pretty good trophies you got going on.
Real nice. Catching some nice trophy trout.
Oh, I see where Mr. Swiggs is. Right over here, right where we started. See, now he knows of this spot. He did a little bit of research on how to get the fish that he's fishing for right now. He's using, I think, the same rod that I'm going to be trying out and the same lure. Jake, or I should say, I'm sorry, Mr. Swiggs.
That's right. You using the jig master?
Yes, sir. I'm about ready to get the rod out of there. Oh, looks like he's got himself one, and it's another rainbow. Now, if you can see in my top right corner, I have this narrow spoon. Now, I showed you the narrow spoon in the episode 1 chain pickerel tutorial video. I use that on just about everywhere I go just to see, you know, I mean, it's an eye catcher. The fish love it. Now, where I'm going to cast just to the left over here, to the right of this waterfall. And what Mr. Swiggs taught me is how the stop and go procedure works, or retrieval works with this fish. They love it. They eat it up. And as you can see, Mr. Swiggs has been catching these rainbow trout all day. You let your lure drop to the bottom here. And you just let it wait and do a slight retrieval on the stop and go, which is R2 button on your PlayStation 4. Trademarked. Oh. And as quick as that, you get yourself a fish on. And as you can see, this is why this game's highly, highly addictive. It's relaxing. You can hang out with one of your pals, like I have Mr. Swiggs sitting next to me. He's got himself one on too, it looks like. Hey, that rare Oregon red band. That's a pretty neat fish. Nice job, pal.
Nice.
I think I'm going to raise the drag up on the jig winner here a little bit. These trout are pretty elusive. They like to take funny corners and sprint at you at full speed, which makes the tension of your line very loose, which makes the lure in their mouth even like just want to pop right out and you lose the fish. It's pretty frustrating. After a struggle and then getting them pretty close to almost to the shore, lure pops out. You tend to say a few names out of the holiest all the Bibles and maybe some other ones that Mom doesn't like to hear, but
May I mention something that helped me? When your
have
tension
I have at
when
it.
your tension goes low, L2, pull on it. You tend to lose the fish less.
You also tend to lose fish less, folks, if you turn your drag down. Even though the fight might take a little longer, since the fight and the drag takes a little longer, the tension in the line stays tight. Just because of you're not reeling as hard as what you would be if you had a stronger drag. But like that, right there, rainbow trout, 3.266 pounds. You use better gear or less better gear, your experience points will probably be a little more worth it. But for the cash goes, you can sit here and do this all day long. Just like the last two videos, all day long. And as you can see, Mr. Swiggs is over there just pulling fish after fish after fish out. Mr. Swiggs, if you can, once you get that fish out, do you want to go ahead and aim it at us so that we can see it?
Can you see it?
Yep, right there. See that fish on his line? I don't think you can see the lure, but
Same lure.
yep,
This is
the
a
same
320.
exact little purple Armalite nail spoon. Thanks, Mr. Swiggs.
Thank you.
Nice brown trout, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, see, as we were sitting here, you've already just seen between the two of us, within the 7 minutes that I've been broadcasting to you guys, that we've caught 3 different trout between the two of us. Rainbow, brown, and the Oregon red band. But this lake has all sorts of different kinds of fish. We have ourselves a rock bass variety. I'm sure some crappie or pumpkin seed or sunfish. Just all sorts of different kinds of fish. This is a pretty good little lake. If you got a little bit extra cash, you can go and you can rent yourself a kayak, tour around the lake. But me and Mr. Swiggs like to kind of just sit here, save our cash, and bring in the lunkers from the shore. There's no need to bring plastic and oars into this. So what we do is we just fish right here, get a little bit of loot, and then go home and spend some money and try and advance ourselves. Jake started off pretty decent, and now after coming here doing, the things that we have been doing, like he's experienced, I'm thinking the chain pickerel. Have you, Mr. Swiggs?
Oh, yeah.
He's experienced a chain pickerel farm.
That's all day.
One of his favorite spots also to fish, I'm pretty sure, is the Nearing River in North Carolina, just because of the variety and the abundance of bass.
I mean, you were there the day I caught that 21-pound catfish on that small line. And
yes. There's a video online that I have where I pull out 3 different kinds of fish, big ones with the same line. I think after this Oregon video, I'm going to show you guys maybe a little bit of Louisiana blue catfish and where the big flathead catfish may be. There's also in Louisiana a chain pickerel farm, just like in New York, but it's not as big.
Nice fish.
Thank you, sir. Also with us today, folks, we have a gentleman out of Arizona. His name is Mr. Beaman Buds. Hello, Mr. Beaman.
What's going on?
He's hanging out in the sunlight while we're here in Michigan freezing our butts off. He has this game, he's doing himself a little bit of shooting people in the head right now, folks. What's the game you're playing, Mr. Beaman Buds?
Sniper Elite 4.
Sniper Elite 4.
Sniper Elite
There's no-
4. It's
no
a
shooting right now. It's all melee attacks.
There's no shooting right now. It's all melee attacks apparently. Well, folks, back to the fishing. I just caught myself a trophy rainbow. Pretty easy to take in. Good money take home. Put up a decent fight. One right after another. Bang, bang, bang. All day long. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to show you guys where the brown trout usually try to hide out at. And then we'll try to do maybe some float fishing. And then I'm going to tour around and I'm going to see if I can't find out where these elusive little rock bass are. I am so sick and tired of hearing about how elusive these little rock bass are. You want to know why I'm annoyed to hear about how elusive these little rock bass are? It's because they've been eluding me as well. Them little buggers are not easy to get in. But I'm going to try. We're going to take an attempt today. As you can see, this little farm right here, though. This right here, you fill up your fish keep with a good amount of money. Take her on home, save up some cash, go somewhere nice. You know, like Lake St. Croix, Michigan. There, I can't wait for you guys to see the Northern Pike Farm there. That is just, once you get there, your money troubles are out the window and everybody knows it. I don't know what happened, if it's a game glitch or what, but the Northern Pike in that area are just, there's just so many of them. It's unreal. Just like in New York, rain or shine, you can pull out the Northern Pike there like crazy. But if you do go there, make sure you do have yourself a pretty heavy setup, because those Northern Pike fight on my heaviest float setup line, which is the Brutus. Alright, there's another fish, another rainbow. Alright, folks, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch up our lures here. We're going to go ahead and switch it up to this brown narrow spoon. Same weight, same degree of hook, just a different color. See, now what me and Mr. Swiggs have found out is that the trout have very good eyesight. And the reason why they like these brown and purple little spoons is because they stand out to them. Because the trout are pretty smart fish. And then over here along this wall, if you cast out into this little, you see the little inlet to where the blue halo is. This little inlet over here is where all the trophy and unique brown trout like to hang out at. You can catch them all day long over here. There's also rainbow. There's also the Oregon red band. But like where Mr. Swiggs is, over there is where mostly rainbow trout hang out. But you will catch Oregon and brown. But right here is where mostly brown trout hang out. But you'll catch rainbow and Oregon red band. So I'll cast her out of here a few times, and hopefully I'll catch me a brown trout and show you guys what these big guys look like. The brown aren't as abundant as the rainbow. I think the rainbows are more like the rabbit or the bass or anything along the lines of that. They like to spawn quite frequently. Kind of like the channel catfish, they're pretty much just everywhere. Like the roaches of the water, they're not worth much at all, and they're everywhere, and they tend to find their way to your hook more than you like. But catching fish is catching fish. Well, we got something on the line here, folks. I don't know if it's a brown trout yet. We'll find out once we get her in there. He's a big guy. He's fighting us. Now, if you can see on my little pro circle there that you can find in your start menu in the settings to switch to, there should be 3 circles. And then the first circle is your line, your second circle is going to be your rod, and your third circle is going to be your reel. And they show percentages right next to it. Well, those percentages are the wear and tear on the gear that you have equipped and that you're using. The reasoning why I'm telling you this is because my line is at 74%. You can almost beat your line to death before having to change it out. And even when you do beat it to death, if it doesn't turn colors and it does get past a certain spot, you can still sell it. And there it is, folks. There's your brown trout. Caught with that or not the purple, but the brown narrow spoon. Same weight, same degree of hook, but just in a different location over here along this left rock wall. You throw it out there in that crevice as long as you can cast far enough, or you have a rod and reel set up that'll cast you that far. But you'll catch them more abundantly than you will the rainbow trout. We're going to cast her out there a few more times, folks, and see if I can bring in one more just to show you. It's turning out pretty well. All the fish that I said I was going to catch here and show you where are. I'm glad they're at their home. It makes for a poor video when they're not. Once again, I'm using the stop and go method, retrieval method for this narrow spoon as well on the brown. For some reason, the trout, even though they're not necessarily bottom feeders, like to eat the food that's below them. Not necessarily on the ground, but alive and underneath their eyesight. It makes it easier for them to catch. They're not necessarily attackers, would you say, Mr. Swiggs? They're more of they look more like bugs or not so heavy moving creatures, right?
Well, they fish on a lot of things. It's just they focus on movement. That's
And
where
color,
there's a lot of
and
other
color,
fish.
right?
Well, bass, it has to be shiny to keep their attention. But a lot of like the catfish feed on smell. They have better eyesight.
Yeah, catfish, they say the stinkier the bait, the better, right, Mr. Swiggs?
Yes, sir.
And then you have your, like, me and Mr. Swiggs have caught your specialty fish, like fish out of the ordinary that you have to have certain situations and certain baits, certain times of the day. Just everything. All the worlds have to align in order for you to catch this fish.
Like the drums and shads.
Oh my goodness. The shads are starting to become a little easier for me, but the drums, for some reason, they're everywhere was what I've read, but on this game, they're just a little bugger to bring home. They're tough.
Like the big buffaloes out of Lone Star.
Yeah, they're carp as well, yes. They're cool. They're cool looking fish too, and they get kind of big.
Hard to catch.
There's a bunch of Michigan is one of the big states for having drums around the Great Lakes. See, the drums, what they do the drums like to feed off of sandy bottoms, such as like beaches and like spots where shellfish hang out, stuff like that, like softer
Like
rocks,
their bones, like
pebbles,
old bones.
stuff that isn't gonna hurt them. They don't hang out in weeds or lily pad beds or anything along the lines of that. They like to hang out right in the open. Um,
That's
there's another
nice.
brown trout, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna move, and I'm gonna see if I can within the next 4 minutes. See if I can't switch up to a float bait, move it around the map a little bit, and see if I can't catch me that stupid, not so stupid, but very elusive, very hungry rock bass. It's tiny. It's not even worth catching. It's not probably worth the money. It's not worth the wait. It's just like that little niche that you gotta have. I mean, if you were a baseball card collector as a kid, even the guy like I don't know, Oil Can Boyd was a ridiculously horrible player, but because of
He
his
was
name
okay
made
for a
him
couple of years.
original.
He was
At,
okay for a couple of years.
all right. Well, anyway, it's players like that. I mean, you just want to keep the card just to have it to complete your set. Me, I just want to catch every nice fish, Mr. Swiggs.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to catch out every fish on the map. I'm going to move right around over here, and I'm going to throw out a low size hook. I'm going to go with my setup number 4, which happens to be my Hornet Swarm 6000 and my Arctics. We're going to switch up the hook, folks, to hook number 2. We'll try. And on this, we're going to try, I don't know, let's try just for fun. I'm not sure. I think we're going to try something a little smaller for these guys. Small minnows. We're going to set our lead length. I'm going to set her down to about 35. Or nah, we'll go 33. They're mid-level fish. They like to hang out. Not at the bottom, not at the top. So we'll just try this out. Hopefully we're successful here. Wish me luck, Mr. Swiggs.
Good luck, sir.
Stupid little rock bass. Get on my line.
Just lost a big fish.
Oh, that's a bummer.
They really do run. They run right at you. And no matter if you're pulling or reeling in as fast as you can, sometimes those trout will outrun your line.
Alright, here we are. Now we're going to drop this thing over here in between these logs. Looks like a good spot for some rock bass to hang out next to logs. Doesn't make any damn sense, but, you know, whatever. If I catch a rock bass, yeah, I'll shut up. If I don't, I'm going to try buy some rocks. But already, I've already had the small minnows in the water. Oh, and we got ourselves a bite. We'll see what we bring in here, folks. And it's a cutthroat trout. That's not what I was anticipating. But, I mean, I guess this just turned out to be a cutthroat trout video for small minnows. Did not think that the trout would go for small minnows, but yum. I think I ate one as a kid, as a dare. It was absolutely an atrocity. It's probably why I don't eat fish now. You have to hide the crab legs and all the shrimp away from me and all the lobster, but you can't put fish on my plate. That's probably why I love this game. I can catch them all day long, take them home, cut them up, cook them. I don't have to eat them or smell them. More than less that my hands don't smell like fish. The bad kind. Oh, another fish. And hopefully it's that elusive rock bass. No, and I'm bringing in pretty big fish with minnows. See, like I said, folks, I'm even using a size 2 hook. I might have to move the hook down and maybe switch down to like bloodworms or something here, folks. But we got ourselves about 3 minutes left. Hey, nice fish. I keep extending the time just because of this stupid rock bass, but if we don't catch her within the next couple of minutes, I'm going to call it quits and we'll conclude ourselves for the day at Oregon. Yeah, I think this game's laughing at me because I'm fishing next to wood. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move right over here by these rocks. Yeah, I just heard the game laugh a little bit. It was like a small giggle. Yeah, it kind of, yeah, you hear the game? Yeah, it's laughing. Now there's rocks right here. We're going to try it out. And right away, I've already got. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know whether if it's a fish that's looking at it or if it's a fish that's next to it or what. But in the start menu on your settings, there's a thing where in audio it'll give you a bobber alarm or warning, which is just like a ping. You guys have heard it. But right away, I've already heard one. And minnows are on the move, so apparently they're kind of scared. This game is very lifelike. Mr. Swiggs is over there making earning his keep.
Just grinding out. Gotta fill your fish keep. Make that money.
What'd you do before you got here? just to let everybody know, the first thing you do before you go anywhere, don't ever forget, what do you do before you got here, Mr. Swiggs?
Oh, make sure I have my license and enough money to
That's what
travel.
I tell everybody. That is your main ingredient, is your fishing license. If you don't have it, you're gonna
Get it.
tour and you're gonna be upset if you don't get it.
And honestly, don't waste your time on a basic.
No,
Nope.
no.
Go.
Your advanced license is only a little bit more, and you get to keep everything. You can
Everything.
you can keep everything. You can even night fish any spot on the map with that advanced license. And I mean, if you have premium like me and Mr. Swiggs do, you're a premium member, so you get more money for all the fish that you keep. So having that license and being a premium member is a very good bonus, and it makes for a good leveling up day. And wouldn't you think, a little bit of money in your little bank account there, Mr. Swiggs?
Definitely a lot extra. Well, it's not a lot, but it's good enough for sure. I think it's like 1.5 times
I'm going to
if
move
you
it
have
over here
premium.
just a little bit. That looked like whatever was looking at my minnow kind of took a turn and went home. Well, I'm a little disappointed, folks. Still, again, to this very day, I have not been able to grab me that elusive rock bass. If y'all find that rock bass, let me know. I don't know where it's at, but hopefully someday I'll find that little bugger. Oh, looks like this is going to be the last fish, guys, and then I'm out of here. I think I'm going to carry on with my pal over there and make a little bit more money that you guys probably don't want to watch. It's going to be really repetitious. Good for me, bad for you. All right. Well, I'm not going to get that goofy little rock bass. Well, there you are, folks. Thank you for watching my video on how to farm trout in Oregon. And I hope it was a help for everybody that viewed it. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for another how-to video on how to grab yourself another couple of good species, or maybe just a gigantic species, or I'll show you that farming video in Michigan. But alright, everybody, until next time, rip some lips.